Sure.
Joint looks pretty good. The guy said, I told the guy, I said, you know, I'm 60 something. When Clydesdale
Jose just had to refresh.
It wasn't a lot of pressure.
It wasn't me.
They're actually in pretty good shape. Yeah.
You have to blame them down there.
Refreshing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. When you say refreshing, you mean?
Well, I hope it's easy on you.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
Jose was just
But I
telling
think I'm
us.
gonna cancel my trip to Boston.
That's too late. Do it after. I hold a
They
grudge.
died.
It's here, but obviously that's a
It was bad here.
Welcome to the Sarpy County Board of Equalization meeting. Today is Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. It's 3:02 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the north wall of the county boardroom. We have present today Commissioners Kelly, Klug, Warren, Mixon, and Burmeister, along with our County Administrator Dan Hoynes and our County Clerk and Deputy County Clerk Deb Hotelling and Renee Landsman. We also have our County Assessor Dan Pittman and our County Treasurer Trace Jones. Will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will start with the regular equalization agenda. Are you ready for us, Renee? Renee, are you ready for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn, sorry. I already sent a vote.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Well, Item 4.1 is the minutes from July 11, 2023.
Second.
Moved to approve by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion?
You were absent.
Please vote.
I got Angie and Gary. Got them.
Yep.
A's 5 and A's 9.
I think you
I
had,
abstained.
I did as well.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah,
Both
I
of
had
them?
it as
Got
abstain.
it.
Perfect.
Can't be changing my vote over there.
Gotcha. I gotcha. You both abstained.
Item 4.2 is tax corrections 17243, Dan Pittman, County Assessor.
Good afternoon. There's only one change today. It's an acceleration on personal property.
Any questions for Dan?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Warren. Any discussion? Please vote. Item 4.3 is notice of valuation changes 50, Dan Pittman, County Assessor. Are these, go ahead, Annie.
Commissioner Burmeister, we would request that you table this until further date, I believe Friday, if that's available.
Yeah, so I'll move to table the item 4.3 to Friday at 1 o'clock PM this Friday, which is the,
21st.
thank you, July 21st, 2023 at 1 o'clock PM.
I will second the motion.
Moved by Commissioner Burmeister, seconded by Commissioner Klug to table to July 21st, 2023 at 1 PM. Any discussion? Please vote.
Carrie, are you in there? There you go. Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Item 4.4 is Resolution 2023-242, extend deadline for hearing property valuation protests from July 25th, 2023 to August 10, 2023. Renee Landsman, Chief Deputy County Clerk, Register of Deeds.
Do we need to discuss this?
Any questions, anybody? Anybody want to make a motion?
Are we doing the 28th of July?
28th, as long as I have a quorum. I need 3 of you. I have Angie, I have Jim Warren, I have,
I'll be there.
I'm great. We're good.
So do we need to do this?
So the extension
Yes,
is
they're
till,
extending it. Annie put the resolution together to extend through August 10th.
Okay.
but the hearing will be, yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
All agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Equalization is adjourned. We'll move on to the
Commissioner
Board of-
Burmeister, could
Yes.
we?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not adjourning the Board of Equalization. Instead, we are recessing it until Friday, July 21st, 2023 at 1 o'clock p.m. Thank you. Let me know when you're ready, Renee. Okay. I'll call to order the Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is July 18, 2023. It's 3:07 p.m. We have present today Commissioners Kelly, Klug, Warren, Mixon, and Burmeister, along with our County Administrator Dan Hoynes and our County Clerk Deb Hotelling and our Deputy County Clerk Renee Landsman. We'll start with Commissioners' comments. Start with Commissioner Mixon today.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment, thank you.
Happy birthday, Dan Hoynes. How old are you tomorrow?
There really should be a prohibition to personal information in public. We'd all know his password if we knew that. That would be 6-1, but thank you.
I hope it's a great day for you.
Any comments, Dan?
Nothing, Madam Chair.
If some commissioners will leave him alone, it will be a great day.
Oh, you're all my good friends. I appreciate you.
You're just lucky, Commissioner Mixon, you took those sunglasses off, because I was going to comment on that too, but you you slid in, so.
Yeah. I was wondering why it was so dark in here. I had to lighten it up.
Item number 4 is the consent commissioners agenda. Would anybody like to see any items removed from the consent agenda? And if not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Item 5.1 is the minutes from July 11, 2023. Deb Hotelling, Clerk Register of Deeds.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug, second by Commissioner Warren. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is an alibi from the consent agenda. I meant to say this earlier, but I'd like to thank Rod Ripley for stepping up to take on the role as our noxious weeds guy. It's a thankless job, but he's going to do it, and I appreciate his leadership on that.
Please vote.
Ayes, Kelly, Klug, Warren, abstain, Burmeister, Mixon, motion carried.
Item 5.2 is a public hearing, possible vacation of 232nd Street between Angus Road and Lincoln Road. Dennis Wilson, County Engineer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I will note that I picked up 12 pieces of mail. 10 of them are for weed control. So he'll be happy. We addressed this a couple of weeks ago with regard to the Equestrian Ridge subdivision. The process was to vacate from Angus to Lincoln Road, and within that same stretch would be, there's a bridge there that has typically been maintained by these individuals before. One of the things that I did not cover in a lot of detail was that particular bridge and how that's going to function with vacated street. From what we have researched, the road, if it is vacated, would allow no public traffic to be on there, potentially getting gates as well. And if that is done, then we'd have essentially a bridge that sits within a private road for that subdivision. The other thing was that we need to make sure that 2 entrances are open so that the fire from Rod Beatty and Gretna, that they can come in from one end or another. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Denny? Seeing none, this is a public hearing. Any members of the public like to speak on this topic? If so, please come forward. And you can come to the podium and state your name and your address, please.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Dren, GRIMN for the record. I am on the HOA board, and first wanted to address any questions.
Your address, Mark.
Oh,
They
sorry.
need that.
11280 South 232nd Street in Gretna.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's any questions for me from an HOA standpoint, I can certainly try to address those today.
So you guys have some concern potentially about the bridge itself?
Our concern, Jim, is that for the history of the development and ongoing, we have 18 lot owners, and we're tasked with maintaining a public access road, which does include a bridge, which adds obviously additional liability and maintenance. So we've looked into a rural road improvement district to get that up to county standards, I believe was $2.8 million plus. You divide that out by 18 lot owners, that's obvious. I think it was like $130-some thousand per lot owner, so that's not financially feasible or sustainable. So the only other option we are seeing, which isn't necessarily a great one, but is to vacate the road, which would, if the residents and lot owners chose to do so at some point, gate both entrances so that we can reduce the traffic that comes through there and thus eliminate some of the wear and tear on the road. That still does not help us with water that goes underneath the bridge, which is a big threat also to the bridge. So at this point, I can't say what the will of the residents would be to gate or not gate, but that's certainly something that we want to have available to us, thus the reason to request the vacation of the road. Additionally, I wanted to, I'm sorry, were there any other questions or did it answer that?
Any other questions?
And one thing I wanted to address from our board standpoint, in Mr. Wilson's recommendation, he requested that the bridge remain open in perpetuity. That's part of the challenge that we have financially. When the RID study was done, it was estimated in 2021 that it would be $500,000 to replace the bridge, another $100,000 for bank stabilization. Doing that math again, divided by 18 folks, so if something catastrophic happened to that bridge, we simply wouldn't have the funds available to immediately get the bridge back up and running. So there's always going to be a threat to that, and we don't feel it's feasible for us as a board or a neighborhood to agree to that clause, just to put that on the record. And then the other thing, we are still in our fact-finding phase. So I would like to extend the window of the public comment through August 29th, if you're so agreeable.
Other questions? Okay,
Okay,
thank you. Any other members of the public interested in speaking on this topic? So the options here are to either close the public hearing or leave it open until August 29th.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and, if you close the public hearing, table it till August 29th.
If we close it, then then
You can leave it open until then and just table it.
Till August 29th.
So the motion is to leave the public hearing open and table it to
Okay.
August 29th.
Second.
Motion moved by Commissioner Warren, seconded by Commissioner Mixon. Any discussion?
I don't have it. There's no refresh button.
You are doing the public hearing, correct?
Correct, we're in the public hearing, we just aren't going to close it. We're going to leave it open with the tabling of the item.
Do you have anything?
There you go.
There you go, Chair.
Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, item 5.3 is Resolution 2023-228, Agreement for Professional Services with Felsberg, Holt, and Ulavig to develop a Southeast Sarpy County Road Network Plan, Project C-7724-07, in the amount of $208,447. Scott Bovick, Deputy Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. Again, this is a agreement with FHU engineering firm to look at establishing a Sarpy County road network plan for the southeast part of the county for right about $200,000. If you look at the map that we're showing, on the east side is 36th Street, on the west side is 72nd Street, Capehart Road runs on the north, and Platteview Road on the south. This blue line here is the new force main that is under installation by the sewer agency, and this orange line is the first outfall sewer that's going to be constructed. Over the last several months in meeting with the cities of Bellevue and Papillion and the agent, and then the yellow area, I should say, shaded is the basin that will be served ultimately by the Southern Sarpy sewer system. And so we don't have a real clear road network in this area. And so working with the cities of Papillion and Bellevue, want to undertake this effort to lay out a road network plan to prepare this area for development so that as developments come in, we can make sure that they're dedicating the appropriate right-of-way, that they understand the road alignment, that we're getting the necessary contributions from development, and that we've got a plan in place so that this area can grow coherently. As you can see from the map, there's some pretty significant topographical things that we need to deal with and address, and also current developments that are happening. And so FHU, our county engineer's office, works with them on an on-call basis on traffic engineering. Papillion and Bellevue do as well. So we think they're the right partner to have on this project. And then, as you know, FHU is the design engineer for the 60th Street project to improve 60th Street from Capehart Road to Highway 370. That's a project that will be out to bid here this fall and likely constructed most of next year. Again, another improved road improvements so that some of this traffic, as it starts to grow, can use that. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. I know Danny Wilson, the county engineer, can as well.
Questions for Scott or for Denny?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Warren. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Item 6.1 is Community Corrections Report. Jake Burst, Community Corrections Director.
Good afternoon. Sorry, one moment. Okay, since we didn't have a meeting last week, I have a couple months worth of statistics here. So in May, we had 7 new house arrest placements. We did have 1 placement over at the Work Release Center at Douglas County. 36 offenders were placed on our pretrial release program, 34 of those being Sarpy County offenders, for a total of 273 participants on the program. June was a little bit busier on the pretrial side, quite a bit busier. We had 51 offenders placed on pretrial release. All but one of those were placed out of Sarpy County, 287 total participants for the month of June. And then our year-to-date numbers here, 284 placements, 521 participants, almost 400 screenings, and a little over 42,000 jail beds saved at about $5.7 million. Here is our Sarpy County pretrial services stats, just our screenings and the placements. You can see the screening numbers, with the exception of this March month, have kind of steadily been going up. And then as far as June goes with placements, this was our busiest month so far this year. Our electronic monitoring numbers, our numbers dipped a little bit. Alcohol monitoring, we had 84 offenders for the month of June, subject to some kind of alcohol monitoring, 99 in May. And then our GPS numbers have stayed relatively consistent. And then finally, our mental health case management program. It was a pretty busy 2 months. We had 19 new participants between May and June combined. So, but the overall total participants have remained pretty steady. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Jake?
No question, Jake, but a comment. It almost goes as a part of routine in your discussion, the amount of jail beds saved, and that's a significant amount of money back to the county, $5.7 million. And thank you very much for your work.
Of course. Yeah.
Hey, Jake, would you refresh my memory on our relationship with Odo and Cass County?
Sure. So our interlocal agreement is just for pretrial services with Cass and Odo. We don't do any kind of house arrest, work release. So it's Sarpy County, everything's very routine. We're going over to the jail every day. Cass County, Odo County is more by request. If we get a request from the county attorney's office at either one of those counties, or the public defender's office, private counsel, saying, hey, I'd like this individual screened for your program, then that's something that we generally do over the phone. And then if we have to get that person, we'll drive down there for their release. There's a fee that each county pays every month as part of that interlocal agreement. If the county is ordered to pay for any kind of monitoring costs, GPS, alcohol monitoring, we invoice the counties to get reimbursed for those, because I'm paying that bill every month.
So there's an interlocal with each county as distinct, and when do those come up for review?
I can get that answer to you. I don't have it though.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we ought to look at having instead of a fee-based, FTE-based support based on the numbers of clients that we're serving in those counties.
Sure.
To bring on additional support to cover the additional workload.
Okay.
I don't know if that's better than a fee-based, but I think it's, we got to start thinking outside the box, because clearly it increases the workload, and it's great to get paid for it, but if you don't have the staff to support it,
right,
it's kind of a moot point. So
I can get with Tom and with Beth, and
so their judges make the determination, I assume, right? It comes through the county. So do we have a good relationship with their judges? Are they similar in the way they handle that with our Sarpy County District Court judges?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. So Judge Parch, who he is down here in Sarpy County, I believe 1 day a week. We have a great relationship with him. He's the county court judge that covers both Cass and Odo counties. And then it's I'm blanking on it now. Judge Smith and
Judge Julie Smith and
right.
Judge Michael Smith.
Yeah. So, and Judge Michael Smith is also district court judge here in Sarpy County. So yeah, the relationships are very strong.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but just take a look at it, see if there's a business case, because maybe the an approach would be to those counties, instead of paying for fees, pay for employee, whatever the caseload might be, supported by the number of cases you do down there on an annual basis. So,
yeah,
which I expect will grow, especially in Cass. Cass is growing pretty fast now, and it's kind of become a part of the southern end of the metro. So,
yeah, you bet.
All right, thank you.
Yep, of course.
Item 6.2 is Juvenile Corrections Report. Tammy Steensma, Juvenile Services Director.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So the information from the Juvenile Justice Center, our bookings and admissions, average daily population, and average length of stay is pretty much stayed the same, but I did want to draw your attention to our alternative school. We did end the year with 447 credits earned, and that's 125 students and 12 graduates. And then we did have a summer school. 12 students were there for 12 credits, so each earned a credit. That's just credit recovery. That's only 2 weeks, so that's a lot of work in that 2-week span. And then our reporting center, at the end of the year, we had 414 credits with 11 graduates. And 452 youth that attended our reporting centers. So those are huge numbers, the largest numbers we've ever had in our alternative school and reporting centers to date. And then some medical statistics. Again, we've always talked about this. The psych meds that our youth are on is always increasing, and the amount of meds that they are on, but 100 assessments done in May, 125 in June. The majority of our youth on meds, and then many of them on 2 or 3 or more meds at that. We did have 1 ER referral in May. Out of all the youth, we did have 28 mental health watches in May and 21 in June. And then usually what I report to you is our map for May. Nothing significant here, just a lot of youth from a lot of different counties. But in June, we were able to add Cheyenne County over here was our first resident from that particular county. And then if you have seen my email, we are having our back to school bash on Thursday, August 3rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. But before we can even host that, we are in need of school supplies. So everybody from the public and county would be invited to our back to school bash, and of course just asking for school supplies, which I am available to pick up, or you can drop off at the Juvenile Justice Center or also at the Sheriff's Office. Can I answer any questions?
Any questions for Tammy?
Yeah, I want to know, can you give us an update on what your staffing levels are?
I have 6 full-time vacancies and 3 part-time vacancies. So I am down significantly, and I know those of you that are on the compensation committee are aware of the people leaving due to salaries, leaving elsewhere, whether that be in other county positions or completely out of Sarpy County. So yes, it's definitely a struggle and a lot of overtime because we are trying to fill those positions with current full-time employees, but even our full-time employees are burnt out. So yes, I am at 6 full-time and 3 part-time.
Are we working on a solution for that? In committees somewhere?
It's in comp committee. Yeah. It's in comp committee. I think that's you and me, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we meet this week, pretty sure.
Well, I mean, I proposed some recommended mitigation actions, but I don't know what the status is.
If I may interject, Madam
Please
Chair,
do.
Commissioner Kelly, so yes,
Okay.
it did. I provided the briefing in EBs this week, so it was part of the 5 urgent reclassifications that went to comp committee and through the budget process, JJC, the starting at level 2 and avoid the leapfrogging.
Yeah.
We refer to that as the Kelly Doctrine in workspaces, requires union approval. And so the county attorney's office, Kate Gatewood, is working on notifying the union of that proposal and then working it through. We're probably 30 days out on what your solution was and that frankly the committee adopted. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
Commissioner Chair?
that's accurate.
Okay.
Is there any way that can be expedited? Because I'm sure right now,
Collective bargaining.
I'm saying any way to expedite.
You know,
with the union.
that's a fair question, Commissioner. Tammy, give me a call and I'll work with Mary. I think we can probably go ahead and start advertising, once we've got the unions on notice, but it's going to require them. So we're threading a needle here, not to honor the contract and get it filled. So
And we're also then paying a lot of overtime.
Yes.
we'll look
hope
at some
is that
solutions,
the-
Commissioner Warren.
Yeah, the hope is that the union will approve that
Well, yes, that is the hope.
quickly.
And Tammy, I've also talked to Mary to see if there's any option for either retention bonuses or referral bonuses, that sort of thing. And I don't know she's still looking into it, but I hope that's something that might be, or hiring bonuses would be on the table to help alleviate at least some of your situation.
I appreciate that, Commissioner Klug, and up for discussion because there's been talk about, well, if we increase the starting salary, which is great, but I'm losing a lot of tenured employees that have been there and aren't receiving any any type of compensation, so of course leaving to go to other positions. So it would be nice to have something across the table for everybody, or at least those people that have been dedicated and committed to the JJC.
So, you probably don't know this, but when can we expect some kind of resolution from the collective bargaining units in the county attorney's office? I mean, how long does this take? Anybody know?
Supposed to have the document tomorrow.
I mean, I could figure this out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And so my patience for this is really getting thin, because we have a valid need to staff our JJC, and nothing's happening, and I don't like it. And I'm only saying that in a public meeting, so maybe somebody listens and does something about it, because we can't just sit here and keep pondering what we're going to do. We have to figure something out and implement an action plan 3 weeks ago. So we cannot have a JJC that's staffed like that. It's not fair to the current employees. It's certainly not a desirable situation for, our youth in custody. There's just a whole bunch of bad things that are swirling around here, and we need to get it fixed ASAP. So my message to the county attorney and the union is figure it out, so we know what we can and can't do. And if we can't do something, then we'll go to Plan B. But right now, we don't even know if we can do Plan A, and I've been waiting for 2 months. So I'm tired of waiting. That's my message.
appreciate it and understand it. And I would just give a disclaimer, it's not on the union, it's on us.
Thank you. Well, and again, I'll just close by saying, when the collective bargaining unit negotiations were over and we voted on the contract, we made a pledge, at least I did, and I'm certain other commissioners did too, to work the problem and solve it. And that was 3 months ago, and we haven't solved it, so shame on us.
Any other questions for Tammy?
All right, thank
Thanks
you.
so much, Tammy.
Thank you.
Item number 7.1 is an executive session for litigation with Zachary Lutz Preferred of Gross Welch Marks Clare, PCLLO.
For the protection of the public interest, I move that we go into executive session to discuss litigation.
Second.
Motion to go in executive session by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Mixon. Any discussion?
Sorry about that. I got
That's
it.
okay.
You gotta move it, refresh.
Please vote.
Yeas 5, nays 9, motion carries.
Yeah, they can stay in. Maybe we just need to make that as a part of our comments when we go.
I was saying it for a while
Yeah.
and then. Oh, yeah, they kicked them all out.
What's that?
They all left. Let's see, we need to come out of closed session. It's now 3:57 PM at a time I didn't write down. 3:33. We went into executive session where our discussion was restricted to litigation. Need a motion that we return to the regular session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Mixon, seconded by Commissioner Klug to return to regular session. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carries.
All agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Commissioners is adjourned. We'll move on to the Board of Corrections.
Wait just a minute.
While we're at it, for the people that are here, the board is always going to go in the other room for executive session, so you can always stay in here for that. It's just easier for us to go out than everybody in here.
Okay.
Call to order the Board of Corrections. Today is July 18, 2023. It's 3:58 PM. We have present today Commissioners Kelly, Klug, Warren, Mixon, and Burmeister, along with our County Administrator Dan Hoynes and our County Clerk Deb Hotelling. We'll start with the minutes from May 16, 2023. Deb Hotelling, Clerk Register of Deeds. That's item 3.1. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion.
Hold on here, okay, I don't have a box, I don't have a box to do. All right, hold on.
Is everybody here on May 16th?
Warren approved.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Warren, seconded by Commissioner Klug.
Who was absent?
Any discussion?
Ayes 5, nays none.
Okay.
Sounds good. Item 4, nope. Item 4.1 is the Adult Corrections Report. Ryan Marr, Corrections Director.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Of a report here. Not a whole bunch to concern ourselves with this month. You look at our daily admissions, monthly admissions, kind of creeping up to pre-COVID levels, but we're not in a situation where crowding is any concern with us. Going into the new facility, obviously, we're in really good shape. If you look at our average daily population, again, we're in a stable situation when you compare 2023 with the previous 5 years. You take out the COVID years, we're actually under. That average was 162. We're at 159 this month. Our average daily population for 2023 is 156. So we're in really good shape as far as the inmate population goes. Our length of stay is a little bit longer than I'd like, but if you look at the next chart, you see the admissions that we have. A lot of them are felony admissions, violent offenses. They take a little bit longer to work through the adjudication process. So be happy to answer any questions regarding the existing facility or corrections report.
Questions for Ryan? Okay.
And then as far as the new Sarpy County Correctional Center, we walked through there this afternoon on a tour. I'll give you some updates on our process. We've cleared all the city inspections from the city inspector, the fire marshal. We expect to have a certificate of occupancy pretty quickly. And I'll kind of give you the updates and the progress and what we're going to do to get into the facility as we do.
Perfect. Questions? Okay, on to the quarterly jail inspection.
Quick comment, Madam Chair, if I may.
Sure.
I didn't have the opportunity, but our new Director of Building and Grounds, Mark Elbert, started Monday. He's in the room. I won't make him stand up and sing his fight song, but he is going to join us on the tour here as he acclimates himself. So welcome, Mark, and we'll save singing the fight song for another day. But he's going to go on the tour with us.
Thank you.
Mark Elbert.
Hey, Chip.
Yeah, I just sorry. Yeah.
She going on the tour?
Yep.
Probably good, right? All agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Corrections is adjourned.
Perfect.
All right. On to the next.
We are in, geez, it's 4.